Alright, what is going on, guys? So we're back with another Alliance War video, and like the last war was insane, man. We had 11 fights, 10 and like .1. It's counted as 11. But in today's video, we actually have 11 fights again, and this war is actually, dare I say, it's better than the last one. It's actually, I think it'll be a better video. It's more enjoyable for you guys. We even have another Korg Boss to fight at the end, but today we're gonna see how it goes with Namor instead of Human Torch. Torch did it last time, but it was pretty close, and that was the first time I fought a Korg Boss, period. So now I want to see what it's like with Namor, because I feel like Namor could be the better option for. We'll talk about more when we get there, but we're on path 3, so this is Psychic Thorns, and Namor is honestly one of the best champs for this for sure, man. He's crazy for it, because basically how this works is it's like Thorns, but the node wants you to use champions that have like non-physical basic attacks, like Doctor Strange, Human Torch, Supreme, those kind of guys. But Namor, he takes the damage from the node and then just reflects it, so you're just doing more damage instead of trying to get around it, which is awesome. And right there, we triggered the bulwark node, the indestructible. I didn't know Cull Obsidian was metal. That was unexpected. I'm like, wait, this guy's metal? What? Oh, I guess, because like his weapon. It was just a little unexpected, but the first fight went fine. And then next up here, we have a Yellow Jacket. And if you are using non-contact basic attacks, like with Human Torch or Doctor Strange, then you also are going to get some healing back from the damage you're doing. So it can be beneficial, but, you know, Namor, man, we're just reflecting the damage, and, you know, Suicides gives us a little bit of a healing anyways, so I'll take Namor over pretty much anyone else any day, unless there's some crazy defender where I need someone besides Namor. But Namor covers so many bases, dude. It's great. Namor, dude, I'm so happy I got him and went for him. But I'm getting kind of scared that they're going to nerf him, man. I'm getting scared, dude. I don't want them to touch Namor. So yeah, that Yellow Jacket fight went good as well. And then next up we have a Mephisto. So Human Torch could take this fight with the pre-fight ability. He would be the better option here. But I'm trying to save that pre-fight ability because we got some interesting fights with Torch later on. So I'm trying to save that pre-fight ability for when I might need it. But Mephisto here, as long as we're attacking him, we're not going to take any Thorns damage, Incinerate damage. We're just going to reflect it all. So we can reflect a lot of damage. But if he starts stacking up a bunch of Incinerate stacks, or of Incineration, and we start hitting him, the second we stop hitting him and we're close, we're going to take some hefty damage. So if I don't hit him, I got to just really back up. Right there, he had 4 on him. So yeah, I dipped out of there. He was healing anyway, so I couldn't do damage. I'm going for a special 2 here to try to get some damage off. And dude, he's almost at an L3. I was like, oh crap, just go for it. And luckily we finished him off with that combo. That was a little closer than I was expecting it to. The Orb of Incineration gave him a ton of power gain. So when I was attacking him, not only was I giving him power, the Orb of Incineration was just giving him way more power. It's kind of overshot it a little bit there, but hey, we got out of there all right. And then we have a Aegon mini boss here. So this one's linked. It's linking. I think it was linking a Nightcrawler. So Aegon's definitely easier to fight than a Nightcrawler. So I'll take the link down first, and then the Nightcrawler won't be linked for everybody else. Probably that's like a ghost or something, you know, someone who can take it with a safe option. I don't have the best option for a Nightcrawler right now. So Aegon, you know, Aegon, not too difficult of a fight here. Once I get things going, I'm sure we're going to just destroy him with Namor. So yeah, people have been saying on the last video with that Korg with the explosive personality that that was why we had reduced damage. That's what I was thinking, but I don't know, I felt kind of bugged that we shouldn't have been doing that little of damage. But Namor, when I first got him, I tested him for explosive personality, and he worked for reflecting the damage. But since he got changed, I heard that he doesn't work for it anymore, but I haven't tested it. So I'm kind of, right here, I accidentally gave him 4 stacks. I'm like, should no, I shouldn't test it in Alliance War. So if I hit him on the block and I explode that armor, I don't know what's going to happen. I think it'll still work. I think it'll still reflect the damage as long as we keep attacking, but I don't know. I need to test it. I need to test it, or if you guys have tested it, since they kind of changed how his SIG ability worked when there was he was doing some crazy stuff in AQ. So yeah, it's a little different now. So I didn't want to test an Alliance War, but we got our Imperious Rex going and everything here, and dude, we're about to just absolutely destroy this Aegon. Nothing to worry about here. Even with all those armor ups, we're still hitting really hard. That did, I only did 13k, that's kind of weak, I guess, because all those armor ups right here. Hit a nice crit on the L2, 60k. Bye-bye, Aegon, you are dead. And yeah, now moving to Section 2, we get to use some of our other champions. So far we've only used Namor. Now we're going to be using Voyant. As you guys saw, we brought her to this war, and Human Torch as well. So Voyant, man, I'm really loving her. I really am. She's definitely she's not as good as I was. I set a pretty high bar on my expectations for her, and she didn't quite get there. But she's still really good. I'm definitely satisfied with her. So this is Biohazard. So as long as I stay in this first phase, I'm bleed immune, so I don't have to worry. So that's pretty much just the plan here. You're gonna get to a special 2, and I can get some regen off. And yeah, I'm not really too worried here. I'm just making sure I don't push him past 15 tactical charges, because then he'll go unblockable. We don't want that. Here, when I push him over to 20, so that would give him a Fury. But he has buff immunity right now from the L2, so he can't gain a Fury. So sucks to suck, Nick Fury. There you go. Now I'm going to bait out the special 2, and then one more special 2 from us, and he should pretty much be dead since he's not awakened. Don't have to worry. But man, what I love this 6-star Nick Fury. So I thought this was going to kill him, and he's at 2%. His willpower is actually healing him up. So I go for some blocked hits, and it's not enough, and I start poisoning myself from the Biohazard because I'm not immune to the poison. But we bait out a heavy incidentally, and then we go in and finish him up. A little bit of a sketchy finish there. But Clairvoyance did pretty good. Now, next up we have a Dormammu, and I was interested for this fight because Clairvoyant's a pretty good matchup here. Human Torch would have also been a pretty good matchup, but I'm saving it for the next fight. And I have Suicides on, so Human Torch kind of takes damage from Suicides because he has no immunities. He's not really that suicide friendly, so figured I'd go with Clairvoyant here, because she should be a pretty good matchup here. As long as we're in our first 2 curses, we can get a ton of power gain because he's immune to both poison and bleed. We also won't really have to worry about baiting out special attacks because we can just use our L2 to steal his power gain. And yeah, he's actually cooperating and throwing them. It seems like whenever you need Dormammu to throw his specials, he won't. But whenever you don't really need him to, he will. You know, like that's just the kind of guy Dormammu is. So I was trying to get some healing off here at the end, but then things just didn't quite time out correctly. So I switched back to the power steal phase. And yeah, then I'm like, you know, I should try to maybe get some healing. So I go to switch my phases, but I'm like, yeah, he's going to be dead. Let me just throw an L2. I triggered the degeneration from getting a dex there. We started taking a bunch of damage, but it didn't matter because he's dead. So yeah, Clairvoyant, dude, she did really well on those 2 fights. We used her for one more fight, a mini boss, but I won't say anything until we get there. It's a pretty good fight. So next up here we have a Thing. Now this was the champion I was most worried about on this path. Buffet, Empowered Immunity, the best defense. So like I was asking the other people on path 1 and 2, I'm like, yo, do you guys have a Void? Like, should I bring my Void? And they're like, no. And then one guy was running a Black Widow, so he could have taken off Dexterity. I was debating whether I should bring my Void or not. I'm like, no, I want to bring Torch. And I was like, wait, Torch could actually do this fight. With the pre-fight ability, he'd be great for this fight. But even without the pre-fight ability, he can still be really good. Potentially even better, because each one of those incinerates is reducing healing by 20% on his own. And then with the Despair Mastery, it's an extra 15% per debuff. So with one combo, man, we start to reverse his healing even. So Torch could be a pretty good matchup here. And you know, the start of the fight's pretty rough because I have the bleed from Suicides on me. So that really decreases the duration on my incinerates, so that they're falling off really fast. But now that the bleed's worn off, it's kind of back to normal, but our temperature's at 0, so it's still kind of low. Right there, I intercepted him, and I was just trying to hit him on the block, but he let go of his block, so I hit him, triggered the Unstoppable, but I got out just in time before he comboed me. So yeah, I'm going to go for an L3 here. This is going to give me 2 smolders, just help me keep up my temperature a bit, if I can actually get it up there, but it's a little hard to. It also put me into my my Nova form. So that's going to apply a couple of those incinerates, give them a little bit of power sting. Because yeah, why not? Right here, put on a couple more incinerates. And it's going pretty good. Like this buffet is no joke, man. It's 15%. So every time we trigger Dexterity, this guy would heal 15% of his max health. which is boosted health and everything. So that's crazy regen. So you really need to bring someone to get around that regen here. And Torch is doing a pretty good job, man. We're still have a minute left in the fight, and this guy is almost down. So I was pretty happy with how Torch was performing here. And yeah, go for one more combo, and yeah, that kills him. Boom, over a minute left in the fight. Dude, Torch, he's great. Next up, we have a Killmonger on the debuff immune node. And for this node, I wasn't too sure who to bring. I was like, can I even take this? Should I let someone else take it? But then I was like, the problem with using Namor here is we can't get to our special 3, so we can't get the Fury, we can't get the crazy L2s going because there's a special lock 1. But then I thought about it more, I'm like, you know, I'm just going to be immune to Reverberation, and there's a special lock 1, so I could heal, potentially, with some willpower. So that's what I'm going to try to do, just play safe, bait his specials. Like I said, I'm immune to Reverberation, so there's really not too much to even worry about on this fight. I can kind of just heal up. So yeah, that's just what I'm gonna do. Just kind of take it a little bit slow. No need to waste potions when you have a special lock 1 node and some willpower, you know. So yeah, everything is going really good in this fight. It's just gonna take a little while. I just gotta make sure to not hit on his block or do something stupid like that. Right here, unfortunately, we actually trigger Imperious Rex, so it's draining our power, which isn't really what we wanted, because we just want to stay at the special 1. So we're just going to let this drain our power and get back to a special 1, and then we'll continue the willpower healing. It's kind of funny. I was like, oh no, my Imperious Rex, I didn't even want that. But yeah, as you can see with the Reverberation, it's just negatively affecting him, which is great, man, because Namor, not only are we immune to it at Sig 200, but we're reflecting it as well, so that's great. I have no problem banning Killmonger's specials, dude, after fighting this guy on node 29 so much on the old map. At the end of the season, like in the last 2 to 3 seasons on the old map, I was fighting Killmongers all the time on node 29. So yeah, I'm pretty good at evading his specials. Also have him in AQ a couple times. So yeah, I'm just kind of trying to chill right now, just get as much of that willpower healing as possible. I'm going to go for a little L1 here to finish the fight. Get a little bit of regen as well from Namor's abilities. Every time you use a special, you heal 6% of missing health, so a little bit of regen there. And boom, 64 hits, none taken, and we finished the fight with more health than when we went in, so that's great. So now we get to the mini-bosses. So the mini-boss first one was a MODOK, a debuff immune MODOK, and I didn't really have a good matchup for that. So the guy with the 565 C200 Black Widow took that. I'm going to go ahead and take this Iceman. I'm going to put on my pre-fight ability. This was at like, I think this was at like 3 in the morning. Just kind of woke up. I went to bed pretty early. I went to bed at like midnight, and I just kind of woke up and I was like, oh, I'm clearing war. Let's do this fight. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pop the pre-fight ability here because, as you guys know, Iceman is Incinerate immune, right? Which sucks, but he's not Nova Flame immune. So my boy Human Torch right here can go ahead and get around that immunity. And yeah, Human Torch is immune to Cold Snap, Frostbite, and also Incinerate. So yeah, we don't have to worry about taking any cold snap damage from this guy. So yeah, Human Torch with the pre-fight ability, great matchup for Iceman here. You know, with Namor, we can kind of reflect some of the damage, get around it. With Clairvoyant, we can actually just kind of heal up that damage, but you know, with Torch, we're straight up immune to it, so why not, right? Go ahead, drop an L2 there, does some pretty nice damage, applies a couple more passive Nova Flames. And yeah, he's just killing himself with those L1s because every time we apply a Nova Flame, we also apply a Power Sting. So that fight went great, man. 30 hits. Take down an Iceman. Easy. Now this fight, I was waiting for the other mini-bosses to go down. As you can see, the last mini-boss is being fought there. This was at like 9 in the morning. I woke up again. I'm like, oh, I'm clear again. Nice. So yeah, we're going to be running Clairvoyant. And so far for this entire war, I haven't used any boosts. And for this fight, it's kind of sketchy. Basically, with Clairvoyant, she's a good matchup here, but there's a catch. Depending on who it is, if it's a Heimdall here on Blockable Special 2, you cannot let him throw his specials. If I had an invulnerability boost, that'd be the safe way to play it because, you know, we just take no damage if we eat an L3 or an L2. But I don't have any of those. So I'm going to put on a couple boosts to play it safe here. Advanced Power Boost. And I'm taking the boss next, so that's kind of why I overboosted it a little bit. But pretty much we have to play extremely careful. We cannot let him throw those specials. So it's pretty much just hold block, and pray for dear life. Just bait heavies, hold blocks, that's what we're going to do here. So Get to our special 2. As you can see, his power gain is going through the roof, but now we want that because we're going to be stealing that power. So we just got to make sure he just does not throw those specials. So after we throw our special 2, we just hold block, let him come at us, let him throw a combo into our block, and let him throw a heavy attack. And then we can just keep getting off our L2s. As you can see, after we use an L2, we get either at another L2 or close to another one. So yeah, pretty much that's just the play, man. Hide behind that block. I'm not letting go of block. The second I let go of block, I know he's going to throw a special. So we just hold that block down firmly. Yeah, these L2s are doing some pretty nice damage as well when they crit. And yeah, dude, boom, he throws one more heavy here, one more L2. Heimdall goes down. So these nodes, it's triple power gain, 200% power gain. So it can be pretty annoying if you don't have a Quake or something. So I'm glad Clairvoyant can counter that, man. Really glad. That fight went really good. I was really happy with that. We took some damage from recoil and from block damage, but that's the last fight I need her for, so it doesn't really matter. Just waiting for my boy Scop to take down this Domino. And once she goes down, the Korg Boss will be open. So the boom, there we go. She gets taken down. All right, man, this Korg Boss is open. As soon as the war started, I was like, you know, I want to take that Korg Boss. And everyone's like, yeah, go ahead. And I'm like, cool, I'll definitely be taking that. So I wanted to see how Namor would do, because last time, like I said, we used Human Torch. And it went down to the wire. But also, the guy had suicide, so he was doing recoil damage to himself. So if the guy didn't have recoil, I don't know if Torch could have soloed it or not. But Namor, I'm pretty confident that Namor can do it. It's all about the crits. Once you build up Namor, his crit multiplier is ridiculous. Like, a non-crit compared to a crit, dude, on an L2, like, it's the threshold is so high that it can just be from decent damage to insane damage, you know? So we gotta hope for those crits, man. We gotta really hope for those crits. So right here, I'm at 28 Imperious Rex, or Outrage, so I'm 2 away from triggering Imperious Rex. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop the L3. Right after this, we're gonna be super close to triggering it, so hopefully we want to get to like a combo as we trigger it so we can get off another L3. So he comes at us here, we parry, that gives us one more because he's immune to stuns, so that gives us an outrage, that makes Namor mad. And then boom, we throw a little combo, get back to another L3, go ahead, drop this, and the damage from this L3, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm just hoping for the big damage on the L2. So we have 2 Furies, man, we're going to have an L2 right here, and he throws this L1, I'm like, oh, okay, that's annoying, waste time. So go for an L2, 22k, come on, crit! 44k, no crits. And right here I go to throw my L1 and my power drain and I just get hit in the face. I was like, really? That went horribly. Like that went about, that just went so badly. We get no crits, we only get off 1 special and we get smacked in the face. I was like if that last hit would have crit, it did, what did it do? 44k? It probably would have done definitely more than 100k. It probably would have done in the neighborhood of 200k. Like it would have just killed him probably. So yeah, I hate when those specials don't crit, man. It feels bad. It feels really bad. Building him up for so long, 2 L3s and then just no crits. So it's okay. We still had like a minute and a half left in the fight. So just got to do it all again. Build back up here. He has 12 crowd excitement, so I'm not trying to let him throw an L1, so I'm just going to throw my L3 here, get off the Fury, and 1 L2 under 1 Fury should finish the job. If it crits, it definitely will. If it doesn't crit, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm about to trigger Imperious Rex here at 29. Boom. There we go. Hit 30. So I'm just going to go for it, man. I'm just going to throw this L2. He's just playing passive, so I dashed him. 13k, 13k. Come on, big crit. 26k. Again, no crits, man. I can't get a crit on those special 2s, but it didn't matter. It was still enough to kill him. So that's what I really like. Even if we get the worst luck possible on those crits, which we did, it was still enough to kill him. So if we did crit, man, it would have been some overkill. We had almost 15% explored, only 3 items, 11 fights. I was really happy with this war. Boom, we got the victory too. And the #1 MVP, again, right above Seaton at #2. That's funny. That's the 3rd time that's happened. He's been uploading AW vids as well. That's just funny. I keep getting just like a couple more point percentages than him. He killed this war as well. We actually we're both in BG2. And BG2 was sitting out for this war. And like some people that were in BG1 and BG3 didn't want to do war, so me and Seaton filled in for them, so he was in the other BG. So yeah, he killed it in that BG. I killed it in this BG. It's great, man. Won the war. So yeah, that's gonna be this war video, guys. Hope you did enjoy. Again, 11 fights, crazy war. I was really happy with that Korg Boss kill. So I'm definitely confident in future Korg Bosses taking them with Namor, even unboosted, I guess. Like, 'cause if we crit, we'll be good. So yeah, really happy with that. Definitely Namor's better for those bosses than Human Torch. We figured that out today. But Human Torch did really well this war. He did really well on that thing. He did pretty good on that Iceman. So yeah, that's going to do it for this war video, guys. Hope you did enjoy. If so, drop a thumbs up. It really does help me out. Thanks for watching, guys. Try to see more content. Peace out.